Thank you for joining me, Anomaly, also known as John, that's my real name, at the $5 Journey YouTube channel. Time for another video. Hopefully my videos have been helpful to everyone. I've spoken about mutual funds, we've spoken a little bit about cryptocurrency, I guess. We've spoken about side hustles, right? There's a lot of different things. One of the things that I've mentioned before is a financial vehicle called REITs. Now, REITs stands for, so it's R-E-I-T, right? S is for the pluralization, but REIT stands for Real Estate Investing Trust, okay? And REITs, I would say, are a very, very passive form of cash flow, of income for you. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you invest in a REIT, there's not much work that you have to do, all right? You put your money in, of course you're gonna, the work is up front. You have to make sure that it isn't accurate, it's a good investment. You put your money in, and if everything goes well, then you will receive a return, quarterly, monthly, sometimes yearly with others. What a REIT is, and I explained this in another video. I will put the link to that video in the caption below. But what I explained in another video about REITs is basically, it's basically a company that offers a certain type of investment properties to investors, all right? Now, the company may, these investment properties, so they're it's real estate. It could be land, it could be multifamily houses, could be, any type of real estate you can think of. And what the company does, what the REIT company does is says, hey, look, we are a real estate company. We invest in all these different kinds of properties. Sometimes the properties make money off of rental income. Sometimes properties make money off of buying it and then selling it for a higher price. Sometimes, these companies, these REIT companies, make money off of real estate by all of those ways, all of the means. And so you get those real estate companies, and they say, hey, we need some investors to come on in, and so that we can purchase more properties, we can make more money. And in turn, you as the investor would give your money to the REIT company, and there's normally some sort of minimum, all right? We'll talk about that in a few minutes. You would give your money to the REIT company, and they would say, oh, great, happy, joy, joy. They would go do cartwheels. No, they probably wouldn't do that, but they would actually give you a return on your investment, assuming that when you put the money in, the property or properties performed at least at the meet expectations mark, so they were actually able to make a profit. So if they make a profit, you make a profit. There are two, let me just, really quickly restate, and then I'll talk about the two different kind of REIT companies that I've personally invested in and, have seen returns. These are not an exhaustive list, but, there are two that I just want to talk about today, because I think that they are really good for the audience of the $5 Journey book. Okay, so anyways, so just to restate real quickly, so REITs, they're these companies, they make money off of real estate transactions, all right, and real estate investing, and they say, hey, calling all investors, come in, invest your money with us. You as an investor invest your money, you sit back, you drink your pina colada, or you drink some coffee or something like that, and you watch the money come to you, baby. Okay, so that's assuming, of course, that the companies are performing well, that the REIT company is performing well, that they're seeing profit. All right, now a lot of times REITs, they refer to the properties that they invest in, they refer to them as assets a lot of times. So if if you go to a REIT site, or look up a REIT company and you're talking to somebody and they use the term asset, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about a specific kind of property. An asset could be, like I said before, it could be a single family, could be land, could be a multifamily, could be a commercial property, could be a warehouse, whatever. It could be any of those things. All right, the point is, for the sake of you guys and the readers of the $5 Journey, is that a REIT is a passive financial vehicle. When you put your money in, then that is pretty much the majority of the work that you have to do. So you can own real estate with all of the benefits of real estate, which is the profit, with a lot less headache, because all you're doing is you're putting your money in. They are taking responsibility for all that other stuff, the management, the property management will deal with the tenants, and they deal with if they're making money off of selling the property, they're dealing with the real estate agents and the price negotiations and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's how that's what they're doing, and so you don't really have to do anything, except put your money in. So the two kinds of not two kinds, but the two REITs that I am invested in, which I think is beneficial for the folk at the $5 Journey. One is Realty Mogul. Realty Mogul. So REALTYMOGUL. Okay, one is Realty Mogul. The other one is Fundrise. FUNDRISE, Fundrise. You can go to realtymogul.com, or you can go to fundrise.com. No, I do not receive money from these companies. Well, okay, they are not paying me to advertise. How about that? I do receive money as far as like returns. So, when I talk about a company or something like that, at the moment, I am not receiving any kind of like advertising or marketing money from any of these companies. But all the companies that I mention, I'm receiving some sort of return from. Okay, so you have my word as far as that. If it's anything other than that, I will definitely let you know. Okay, unless I'm giving some sort of bad review of the company, like, okay, just do not go here. Buyers beware. But so for Realty Mogul and Fundrise, right? These are two REITs that I've invested in, and I've received consistent returns, 8% from Realty Mogul, and for Fundrise up to 10% actually. Now, why is that beneficial to you guys? What do you have to do to get involved in a REIT? Okay, number one, go to their website. All right, go to their website. Use your smartphone, do whatever. Go to their website, check them out. Realty Mogul, they have so these REITs, they normally have like a minimum amount of investing that you could do. Like you can only invest with $1,000 or with $10,000 or with $100,000, right? So that's that they normally have some sort of bare ground minimum, right? Ground floor minimum. With Realty Mogul, I believe at this time, January 2018, that the threshold, that the lowest that you can go, the minimal that you can invest is $5,000. Okay. With Fundrise, the minimum that you can do is $500. Okay. So with the $5 Journey, we're trying to take you from investing $0 per day or per week up to $500 per week, and that is your launching pad to go on to bigger and better things, right? To really have your money, your finances skyrocket, to progress financially. So the $500 is just like a launching pad, $500 per week. If you are at the point where you can invest $5,000, absolutely, you can go for it by all means with Realty Mogul. For some of us, you know, it may be better to try to do Fundrise, you know, and they have 500, you know, it's $500 right now for the minimum investment. Now, some of you may be saying, Anomaly, come on, it's the $5 journey. You know that maybe we, you know, aren't the best budgeters. We, you know, don't have money saved up where we can do this. We're not in a situation where we have an abundance, right? Okay, so yes, I do understand that. So that's why I suggested maybe Fundrise, okay? Fundrise, I've been seeing consistent returns. Also, the minimum is $500. You may say, okay, well, still $500 Anomaly, that's a lot of money for us, you know? And I get that. But remember, this is not a sprint, all right? This is not like you doing the 50-meter sprint, all right? This is not like the 100-meter sprint. This is a $5 journey. So if you can just do $5 a day for a month, right? That's, what's that? 150 bucks, right? For $5 for 30 days, 150 bucks. So after 3 to 4 months, you'll have over $500. That $500 can then go and be placed into a Fundrise account for yourself, okay? Now, one other thing that I want to mention is, so with both the Fundrise account and with the Realty Mogul account, with all these things, you want to make sure that you talk to a financial advisor, okay? Because I'm not a financial advisor, all right? I'm an investor. But you also want to make sure that you do your own research, okay? Do a little bit of research. Obviously, the book helps out, the channel helps out, some of the stuff that I post on Facebook absolutely helps out. Twitter, at Anomaly 197711, you know, all that stuff can potentially help out, you know, and I really hope that it does. I've been getting some good feedback that it really is helping out. But, you know, do some research, do some minor research on your own. I mean, you know, a Google search would take you probably all of like 10 seconds, you know, and then it takes you a couple minutes just to read up a little bit. So that's what I want to say about that, all right? The other thing that I want to say is, in regards to generating that extra money, you know, so that $5 extra per day, hopefully more, you know, maybe it'll be $20 extra per day, $30 extra per day. So I've been having some interesting discussions with some people, and, you know, what I'm finding is that, you know, there's a decent amount of people, they do not like the financial situation that they're in, all right? They don't like it. They genuinely want to get some help. They want to be able to progress financially. They want to use some of these financial vehicles. And, you know, they'll ask me, you know, they'll run their scenarios by me. And when I'm giving them the, you know, my financial advisor or my accountant, they're not following up with phone calls or emails or anything like that with these people. You know, some of these people have really, you know, helped out others, not only myself, but helped out others who've, you know, also tuned into the channel. So what is my point? What am I trying to get at? It's that, yes, it is about financial progress, but remember, it's also about a mindset change, right? It's about a mindset change, you know, and part of the thing that I'm noticing is that, you know, people are not willing to put in the work to help facilitate the mindset change. You know, this is really one of the things that you want to do. You want to try as best as possible to have that mindset change. You know, we spoke about having a spirit of excellence, right? We talked about attitude, you know, work ethic. We talked about perseverance. We talked about, you know, just a few things, right? And, you know, having a spirit of excellence in your work and all these other habits will help you to achieve that, because it's a mindset change. It is a mindset. So let me give you an example. I was in I was in college. Yeah, I think I was like 19 years old, and I was working at the mall. You know, I was working at a store, and at the time, it was a clothing store, and I think the minimum wage was maybe like $6.50 per hour or something like that. And I'm kind of new to the store, and I'm trying to figure out like what to do and how to fold things and how to hang up shirts and all this other stuff. And you'd fold something or you'd hang something up, and a customer would come along and they'd just undo it and everything, which was annoying to me, because I would take folding is not my thing. So my manager at the time, he came over and he was really into presentation, folding, that kind of stuff. And he had this board. It was like a folding board. I think companies use it now also. He had this board, and he said, okay, well, you have to put the board in, the middle of the shirt, and you have to do this and that and the other, and you gotta flip it up, and then you gotta turn it over, and then voila, and it did. It really looked good. And so, I tried it. I did that. It took a little while, I don't know, maybe a couple of tries before I was able to actually, get it down. And then, of course, the more I worked at it, the faster I got. Now, I was in college. I didn't know whether I wanted to, go for, biochemical engineering, or whether I wanted to go the medical school route or whatever at that time. So, but I knew that, I wasn't going to be making $6.50 for the rest of my life. I knew that that there was a different, direction that my life was going to take. That, at some point in college or after college, I was going to be making more, I was going to be earning more, I wasn't going to have to necessarily worry about, getting the crease right and folding. And now, not knocking anyone who does that. I mean, I think it's great work, but it just wasn't my passion, and especially for the amount that I was getting paid. So I started learning how to do this, how to do that whole folding thing. And I wanted the fold to be right, not so that I could get paid more. I wanted the fold to be right, not because it was going to determine whether I was going to go to school for engineering or go to school for medicine or whatever. It wasn't gonna folding was not necessarily gonna do that. Okay. What was going to determine my future, what did determine my future, was the mindset. All right, it was a spirit of excellence that went into the folding. Okay, so it wasn't just about me going and doing, the bare minimum, right? Because I did actually have the choice of not using that folding board if I wanted to at the time. But I wanted to do as good a job as I could, making minimum wage, dealing with customers, dealing with a lot of other stuff. I wanted to do the best that I could do. I did not want to do the bare minimum. I didn't want to do below the minimum, and I found that that achieving success, right? The times that I've actually achieved success have not been necessarily due to some, great big, feat, or it hasn't been due to, some huge victory, right? It's been just doing something in a way that is above the bare minimum, right? So why do I mention that? Because a lot of times, people will ask me about financial stuff, and I'll talk to them. I'll say, yeah, well, you maybe need to, work an extra 10 hours a week, or you need to do, you want that promotion, maybe put in an extra 5 hours a week, or put it, don't just leave when, right at 5 o'clock, so, don't, you don't always need to go on an hour lunch maybe. Now, I'm not trying to work people to death, but I'm just saying that if you are doing the bare minimum, right, number one, you're easily replaced. Number two, because, you know, you could find someone else who's doing the bare minimum. I mean, you know, there's a whole lot of bare minimum doing people out there, trust me. So you can be replaced. And number two, you are, you know, there's a lot of you out there. You wouldn't necessarily, if you couldn't, I don't know, if you couldn't come into work for that day, or you could, you know, let's say you, I don't know, let's say they were downsizing the department or something like that, you know, would you really be missed? You know, because you've been doing the bare minimum. You know, maybe they can find someone to, again, like I said, replace you really quickly. So, you know, that's what happens. You end up where everyone else ends up, where the majority of people end up, you know, by doing the bare minimum. If you want to end up in the, you know, in that kind of VIP category, in that special category, if you want to end up with, you know, success, right, and your own internal trophies, your own internal victories, right, you have to go above and beyond. I mean, you have to do it. It's just one of those things, you know. So when we're talking about finances and everything, you know, yeah, okay, great, you work 40 hours a week, you know, and that is the bare minimum. You know, you leave when you leave from your job, or you leave from whatever your situation is, and you know, maybe there's things that still need to get done, but because it's 5 o'clock, you punch out, you check out, you know, that's it. You know, and it's going to be really, really tough to find that success that you're looking for. It's really going to be really tough. So that's why, you know, and I was talking to a couple of people over the past week or two, and I was really trying to encourage them to not just settle on the 40 hours a week. All right, if you want to do 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week or whatever their you know, job situation is, fine. But you want to pick up a side hustle. You want to use compound hustle. You want to use something else so that you can really propel yourself forward. You want to kind of, like everybody else is you know, moving along. They're probably not moving up. There's a lot of people are moving down, right? You know, people are becoming progressively more poor and more financially disenfranchised. If you want to move up, right, you need to be able to break away from the pack. You need to be able to break away from what everyone else is doing. All right, so one of the things here is REITs, you know, and yes, it is going to require you to, you know, to kind of put your money where your mouth is. You know, hopefully you've read the $5 Journey, or if you've checked out some YouTube videos and you're really psyched about, you know, this financial journey that you're about to go on. Well, let's get it going. You know, now it's time to figure out where you're going to get that money to invest in the REIT. Okay, because you know that's part of it. You know, a lot of really, really good dreams die because people fail to put in the extra work to get the money that they need to start up whatever that dream may be. Okay, and I've fallen in that category also, right? So I'm not up on my soapbox, you know, preaching like that. But so it's one of those things. You know, if you guys have any comments, anything that you want to share, you know, maybe your situation. I do also have budget spreadsheets that I'm more than happy to email out. You know, make sure you guys hit me up. You can catch me on Facebook, the $5 Journey channel. Twitter, you already know about that, Anomaly 197711. Also, I'm on Outlook. You can email me, right, at anomaly1977@outlook.com, right? I'm on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Outlook, all right? So you guys have all those platforms. All right, hopefully this was helpful. I really hope you guys enter in the REIT space. It's really good. It's really profitable. You'll receive, you know, a lot of the benefits from real estate without the headaches. All right, and you know, leave your comments below. Thumbs up it if you like the video, and thank you so much. You know, take care.